much else you making the radio?
You think you tough?
Oh, just because somebody don't retaliate don't mean they'll, whatever you said.
They pussy thing.
No, they don't.
Yes, it is.
They just don't want no. So if a man run up and hit a man and the other man don't hit him back, that means he's.
Hell yeah.
Why
to fight back?
Okay, how come he just say
that thing about Martin Luther King?
No.
Kick they motherfucking ass.
No.
That
what
shows
about
that you not only aggressive, but you protecting your rights.
No, but what if they just being a bigger man and just walk?
The man my ass. I don't go for the bigger man shit. You got the wrong motherfucker. I said it. Now take me off of tic-tac or be back or whatever the fuck it is. Or Rick Rack. I don't even know what y'all talking about.
Yo, for the most newest music, the best music from the old school music to today, catering to the independents, hittinghardradio.com. Radio you can watch, the pulse of the city.
What you doing still in bed, man? Yo, you need to punch in for that Morning Shift MKE with Sayer. Right here on hittinghardradio.com exclusively from 10 to 2 p.m. Check it out, man. Listen out.
The Morning Shift MKE uncut. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on hittinghardradio.com. Real topics, real news you can use. You dig? You can also catch us at the Post of the City page on Meta or Facebook or hittinghardradio.com.
Pitch control.
The Morning Shift MKE uncut on hittinghardradio.com.
Assalamualaikum. I am Sister Rebecca.
Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the Milwaukee Islamic Dawah Center.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yamin Talib Muhammad.
My name is Doris White. I've been with the Dawah Center for about 15 years. Okay. Yogurt.
Since 2017, our food pantry program continues to reach to thousands of families and individuals. In 2021, we distributed over 1 million pounds of food and impacted over 100,000 individuals.
We've been serving our community for years with our pantry.
We have a pantry here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
We were awarded a $30,000 grant to purchase a 27-foot truck, as you see here, 27-footer, as well as a 17-footer over here that we use to provide food services throughout the city of Milwaukee County. With the help of Allah and a great team of volunteers, our pantry continues to combat food insecurity in our community.
Everybody like it. They love it. And not only like it, they love it. A lot of the same people, a lot of new people. And we see a lot of new people when we are on Hampton. That's when we see a lot of new people, but mostly the same people here. Every third Wednesday of the month, they give a big giveaway. We even give twice as what you see today.
The donations that you have given and continue to give us fuel the work that we do. And we can't say thank you enough. Assalamualaikum.
May Allah reward you and your families for your continued support in this life at the next. Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak.
Morning.
One
second, hold on. Let me stop that. There, I don't even know why it went that far. Stop it. There we go. Morning. Welcome to the morning shifts. Good morning, grand risings, all the things you say to the folks you rock with this early, y'all. What's the word? It's Monday, right? Yeah. Beginning of the week. Everything getting started. It's a lot going on. A lot went down. Had a few people in town this weekend.
Did y'all go check that out? If you checked it out, man, the lines is open. I want to hear about it. Let me know how the shows went. Whether you went to go see Rick Ross or man, I don't even know the damn girl name with the F&N song or whatever. I think she was here too, right? But yeah, the phone line's open 414-502-9447. Can hit me up, man. Give out some shout outs, music requests. Man, throw some good vibes out there. Whatever. You know what I mean? Phone lines open, man. It's Monday, July 18th, 82 degrees and sunny out. And it look like it's going to be that way all day. Yeah, we got a good day here. So enjoy the weather, man. Like the grills, put my plate in the microwave. I'll be by to get it. You know what I mean? And enjoy your day, man. Peacefully. Don't get into no mess. Don't get into no mess at all. It's been dangerous out here. I got a couple videos still loading up. So while they loading up, I'm gonna have y'all check this out.
I will say, let me ask you, what questions do you have so far?
With me, you can assume I know so little that I don't even have the questions. Right? Like when it come to them spaces and the things you and Larry be having conversations about, like I'm just paying attention because I don't have no clue what half the stuff is y'all talking about. Like he more the tech dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just you know how you hang out on the sideline and pick up a little here and there. That's my method of education right now.
Well, the space is definitely still rapidly evolving, as expected. Some people are, I guess, consider this right now we're in a bear market. I wouldn't really say so, but prices are low, so I would say the entry level to start looking to investing in these type of digital assets would be now, especially those who haven't invested yet. And the price is low, so it's something to consider. I think what is happening right now, especially I say with NFT projects, is it's coming to a time where some people need to take some time off and try to figure out new, innovative ways as to how to approach the space. So, some of the same type of projects aren't being brought out. Something new, something original. I think the best way you can find the solution to that is think of the problem. Anybody who's in the space, think of any problems that you may encounter in the space. And then kind of jot that problem down and then see maybe if you can connect with a developer or some sort to see if you can kind of, work that technical kink out to see if you can create something innovative from there. Just something as small as that. Like, it's just coming to a space where, like, yes, it's moving fast, but then you can tell it's a part of it where it's, like, slowing down because it's, like, the same people putting out the same, the same type of stuff. And we're at a moment where we need, like, a breather of something completely new and innovative. But I think it's coming, especially with how fast everything is moving regardless as far as technology. And the collaboration. I think more people need to start collaborating. One thing I do notice is the people who are within, web space, the Web3 space. Some people just got to get out of their shells, and just, reach out, communicate a little bit more. Network is, the people around you. If you're in Web3, you're already blessed, but, just reach out to other individuals who are just as serious as you. If you don't have the money, that's fine. Trade the skill. Everybody coming in has a certain type of skill. So whether that be you being a researcher, whether that be you being a gamer, it doesn't matter. You can put those skills, that skill set to use, and collaborate with people who have the skills that you don't, pretty much, you know. I think people who try to one man it all in this space, you know, you'll get burnt out really fast. So it's important that you know, collaborate with people to make things much easier. Not only that, you guys can make, you know, a huge impact working together versus just solo.
Now, earlier, when we was talking about buying property or land or whatnot in
the metaverse.
Mm-hmm. And you know, when the numbers is decent right now. Now, for somebody like me that don't know what it means to own property in the metaverse, simplify that for us. What would the opportunity of owning a piece of property in the metaverse and the things we could do with it and how we could turn that into revenue?
Well, easiest way thing is, you know, anything that you do in real life, you just have to find a way to how to convert it into this, you know, space of the metaverse. But when it comes to the real estate aspect of it, I think it's awesome because let's say you have a brick and mortar business. Depending on what that brick and mortar business is, let's say you have a hair salon, okay, but you sell your own hair products within that hair salon. So you can actually buy real estate in the metaverse and then rebuild your building in the metaverse exactly how it's modeled in the real world. And then what you can do is the products that you sell, you can create all of those as collectible NFTs to where the customer, when they buy the NFT, they actually get the physical tangible. So it's, you know, a way for people who may be, you know, across the country or different parts of the world to get to experience, you know, you and your business and what you have to offer. So you can do that with a lot of different models, even if it's a clothing store. Let's say you have your own clothing store and you have a physical brick and mortar, but you want to bring it to the metaverse, you know, well, you can buy the land in the metaverse, create the digital real estate and voxels, you know, on top of that land, modeled out exactly how your brick and mortar is modeled out. And then you would use your clothing line. You could create those as voxel, as collectibles, and make them as NFTs. So when the person buys that NFT, they would get that tangible clothing item. You would do it all. It's you know, it's just you transferring it to a different, you know, realm, but it's, you know, pretty much that's how you would get that structured up there. So that way people who don't have access, you know, to your physical store, they still get to experience that through the digital side.
So they like will walk into the store and virtual reality,
yes.
and they with their Oculus or whatever you're on.
Yep.
That's dope. No. Now, that's from a business owner aspect. Mm-hmm. Now, let's go from just, man, your average Joe on the street. Tax time then came. I made a couple dollars, caught a couple nice little refund. I ain't got a lot, but I got a couple G's. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What does that person, how does that person get involved in this stuff and make it where it can make sense for them, like where they can get money? Because like you said, they ain't working with much. There's some tax refund money. So instead of buying a lemon car,
buy some, you know, buy the property and hold it as space, and then just rent it out to people who want to advertise them.
Okay, now let's talk about that. That's interesting. Rent it out. Now you catching my attention, because I'm trying to see if I buy some property, what exactly could I do with it? Because I don't got nothing going on to put in it, but I could rent it out.
Yeah, some people, that's their sole intention. They buy the property and then they'll just have a slab, and then the advertisement will go on that slab. So when you're in the metaverse, you'll see it, you know, but that they're, you know, they're being paid for that. So to help that space. So, or you can create a gallery and have the artist, you know, pay for the space. Yeah, it's multiple ways, but I think the quickest, like, if you really didn't want to do anything, it's just the ad space, you know, make that, you know, create the space where people can have their ads. If you want to make it look nice, you know, you got to think about presentation is everything. So, you know, if you make the space look a little nice, you know, people will be more willing to want to put, you know, their advertisements right there with you.
Yeah, now that got me interested because I'm already into the little advertising field or whatnot for this here with the station. I deal with my man Augie with show billboards or whatnot. So I'm trying to see how do I take that, what I do out here, and do it there. And if I buy different lands and then like do I get to select where I want to be at? Like is it like some hot areas like you want to be over here because this type of stuff over here? Or
Yeah, that's something to
you got
consider.
some desert areas where ain't nothing going on, so it's cheap, but I can go down to City Hall and find out in 3 years they planning on doing some stuff over there that I don't nobody know about. You know? Do it work like that?
So something to consider is like if you, depending on like, just like in real life, you know, you have to think about the foot traffic or where it's at. So if you happen to be looking at a property that is right next to a big corporation that had already came in, just saying expect the surrounding real estate around it to rise. So you may have to pay, you know, a heavier cost, but understand, well, that particular landmark or that particular landmark in the metaverse does come with a certain type of foot traffic. So it's something to keep in mind, but not to say that any other, you know, space in the metaverse, you know, isn't as important, but it's just if you are looking for like more popular areas, just expect to pay a little bit more. But again, this is all still new. So a lot of the players haven't even fully came in yet. So right now, if you can just get a little bit, you know, just get something, you know, do it as a group. You know, just start from there. Do it as a group. Create something there, a space for people, you know. If you don't want to really do too much with it, just create the space for other people. That's really what it's about.
Okay.
Working together.
That's interesting. Hey, y'all got any questions, man? Y'all can feel free to text or call in 414-502-9447 and let us know, man. And you can also hit the social media, hit us up in the inboxes on the Facebook pages, Instagram pages, or whatnot with any questions you have, and we'll make sure we get them over and get them discussed and get us the news we can use on these topics, man, because like I told you, the only way I'm going to learn this stuff is if we have it here and it's getting taught to y'all and then I get to learn it on the side, because otherwise I just be doing entirely too much and I don't know what to cut back on to make room for to do something else because I'm already doing too much. If that make any sense to y'all, but some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But that's what it's at, man. Y'all give them your social media so they can hit you up on your Instagram and all that when you're not here with us.
Yeah, so my IG is T9LET and _. For IG, and for Twitter is T9let. So twitter.com/T9LET.
T9let.
Yes, I'm on Twitter mostly, so you have a pretty good chance of catching me over there mostly. And sometimes I do spaces, so anyone is more than welcome to come to my spaces sometimes. Now, what you may hear in the spaces, I have no control over that. I attract all type of people, so just giving everyone a warning. And I don't judge people, so just saying, you know, like I said, I never know who's going to come into my space and what they're going to say.
They be having people come in there pranking and like they was doing that on Facebook for a minute. Somebody be going live, then they ask to request to join your live, and then they join your live and they come on your live.
I'm not even gonna repeat.
They
some of the
doing
stuff
all
that
kind
came
of
in,
inappropriate.
Well, some people came in being disrespectful. Of course, I had to kick them out. But if you come to my space, just know, I sometimes attract all types of energies. So, you know, just keep an open mind if you come.
All right, y'all. That's it, man. Y'all stay with us, hittinghard.radio.com. We'll get you back to the music. Let's go.
This is hittinghard.radio.com.
Check out your station on the World Wide Web.
hittinghardradio.com.
Okay, I don't know why the next video didn't go right into sequence, but let me get it worked out right quick for y'all, because I had a few that, 1 second. I'm working on that.
Yo, what up, Men's Health? It's Wiz Khalifa, man, and check out how I train. I'm just a passionate person. You know, fitness, it was never a hobby or anything of mine, but it was something that I always looked at as important. You know, I was in my late 20s. I was probably like 27. And I was like, hey, man, I might as well start taking, working out serious. And I went to a really good gym and met some great people. And I was able to learn about my body. And that's how, the journey began and how you guys get to see where I'm at now. It doesn't matter which day it is, what muscle group we're working. We'll come in, we'll stretch out, we'll do some warm-ups and things like that to start with the small muscles. And then that's when we start the bigger movements. If it's a leg day, we'll do back squats or front squats. If it's a chest day and we just bench, and the results are me crying when I do that. I shed a tear every time. But when I hit that wall and when I can't get it up no more, I know it's working. Back routine, I got a really wide ass back for some reason. I don't know why. So it's good to work on it and just spread that out. So inverted rows are good. And then we'll get into some regular pull-ups, wide grip, or, chin-ups on a different day. And then after that, we'll get to boxing. I work out for an hour, and the kickboxing lasts about 30 minutes. You'll just shadow box, which is you kind of hitting the air and getting your technique right, getting your footwork together. And then that's when the trainers will come in, and we'll just run through drills on the bags for the first round or two to kind of get a good sweat. There's a difference between just hitting the pads and actually, sparring and getting into real situations. And that's what we really work on, is the dynamics of it, as well as looking good while we're doing it. My main reason for working out now is I love the results. I love what it does for me mentally. I get to clear my head. I get to come up with different ideas. I get to meet different people and build relationships in the gym. I also just like learning, and I feel like it's a constant learning process. It's something that when you're training, you're always picking up new methods or techniques. You keep hitting these milestones, and you keep, just reaching points where the hard work pays off, and I love that feeling. I think my goal is just lifelong. I think by the time I'm 50, I'm going to be huge, gray locks, fully tatted, just buff as hell, looking sweet, and just keep adding on as the time goes. So I'm just letting time do what it does and putting in the work that, when it is there, I'm going to be built like a house.
I must have downloaded my videos in the wrong format, y'all, so somehow, and then I had to redo it. So I got them downloading all over again. I don't know what's going on with everything disappearing. Stop disappearing. Here we go.
Men's Health, what's going down? It's Nick Cannon, and you know what? I'm about to put you up on some incredible fitness. It's a day in the life of how we get down. Me and my son Golden, we about to warm up. You ready? Let's go. Give it to me one more time. Yep, all day. All right, y'all, so this is how we get down. Now, you see, the lights are dimming a little bit because this is our second time working out today. We do 2-a-days. You know, we do the incredible core fitness gym in the daytime, and at night, we kind of get it in where we focus and isolate the muscles and do all of that stuff. And we're going to give you 10 exercises. Got the one and only Eric Small, Mr. Confused Muscles. And what we getting into today?
We're going to do a full body workout.
Okay.
10 reps.
Yeah.
2 rounds.
Just let y'all know, Eric is a trainer to the stars. So we putting y'all up on game. We done trained everybody from Sherry Shepherd to Zendaya to me. He don't pull no punches. He don't care if you're a star, celebrity or not. He makes sure you get that work in. So what we starting with?
All right, we're gonna start off with a pike toe tap. We're gonna stretch out our hamstrings and our core at the same time. Now Nick, he's gonna do the modified version.
I'm gonna do a push-up with it because I'm a gangster.
Make sure you breathe out when you reach towards your toes. Try to keep your legs straight as possible. Engage your core on the way down. Don't let your hips sink too far down like that. You want to keep it right here. Got 2 more. Last one. Good. All right, we're gonna stand up.
I'm already windy.
Let's go. You can use the whole length of your mat. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep the arms pumping. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Each side is 1. We have 5. Once, turn up a little bit, quicker feet. Last one. Good.
Third exercise
Third
already.
exercise.
Change your body, change your life.
Walk in, walk out. Simple as that.
Simple enough.
Let's go. Stay low. Don't have your butt up in the air. Keep it low. Engage the core. Always. 60% of your power come from your core. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath on this one. 2 more. There we go. Last one. Good. 4th exercise.
I hate these.
He loves squats.
As you can see from my legs.
1, 2. Modified version, straight leg. It's a good stretch on your hamstring when you do your legs straight. Continue to breathe.
Okay, we got it together now, y'all. I had to redo my videos from the big computer, man, in the studio, because my little old laptop was tripping. But yeah, for y'all that's watching on HiddenHardRadio.com or on Twitch or Facebook, Pulse of the City, the flyer you see up on the screen above me is for the car wash fundraiser and car show this Saturday, July 23rd, man. It's going to be going down right here in the rear of Hidden Hard Studios. We got a parking lot right in the back of the building where it's going to go down at. 729 West Historic Mitchell, man. Y'all come on out and enjoy it. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have raffles, boom box going to be out there doing the music. It'll be food. It'll be bounce houses, man. A whole lot going on. We're going to have the folks just putting on this event, Your Move MKE, up here this week, hopefully. We have them up here a few times this week. You know, it's a lot of, we got to get to know each and every one of them. And we got to meet the kids that's involved in the Hip Hop Chess Club that they also facilitate. So, yeah, check all that event out on Facebook. Make sure y'all show up, say the date, lock that in. I'm going to get right into this news we can use. Right after I inform y'all that tomorrow is Tuesday, man, Giving Tuesday. So if you're looking to advertise with Hidden Hard Radio, Man, make sure you get up with me tomorrow, man. Tomorrow, I can make them advertisements happen for you for 50% off, man. Giving Tuesday, it's going to be the day that we donate back to the businesses and whatnot, just advertising with us, man. So you book your advertisers with us on a Tuesday. There's some more details we can sit down and go over, and you will get it at a rate 50% of what the cost is. So, yeah, take advantage of that, man. Take advantage of that. But we gonna get, let me get this shirt. We're gonna get off into some news you can use, man. Y'all keep it locked, hittinghardradio.com, the Morning Shift MKE. Man, you clocked in with your boy Sayer, man.
Honoring the more than 1 million American lives lost because of COVID complications. Right now, a vigil taking place in Milwaukee's Washington Park. Governor Tony Evers on hand today. The vigil reflecting on the deadly effects the pandemic has had, including the nearly 15,000 COVID deaths here in Wisconsin.
The purpose of it was to really just bring the entire community together in an act of remembrance and solidarity, but also just to reaffirm the importance of getting the vaccine.
Vaccines and boosters are on hand free of charge, as well as home COVID tests, masks, and hand sanitizer. The vigil runs until 6 o'clock.
No, Derek, it is still down to Milwaukee and Nashville. The site selection committee recommended Milwaukee host the next Republican National Convention, but the RNC
pretty sure they're
still
gonna
needs to
end up
officially
here.
accept the recommendation.
Addressing reporters inside City Hall Friday,
I want Milwaukee to hold a prominent position as a convention city.
Mayor Cavalier Johnson and Wisconsin Republican Party leader Paul Farrow, two politicians typically not on the same team, excited about all the work they've done to get to this moment.
Just because we're welcoming to the RNC does not mean you're signing up for the platform of the Republican Party. I certainly am not as a Democrat. And as a matter of fact, my goal here is to be as welcoming as possible.
They were impressed by the bipartisanship that was occurring and seeing that really we wanted them here. And as we joked about it, we said, look.
I've been seeing on Facebook a lot of people posting about him, meaning Chevy Johnson, the mayor, and what he doing with the Republican Party or whatnot. Me personally, I ain't a Democrat or a Republican, man. Once I was able to learn that they really pretty much the same, just two different paths of getting to the same place. I knew what was up. But if y'all remember when he was campaigning and getting whether elected or whatnot, his thing was bipartisan. He said he was gonna work with them. You know what I mean? He said he was gonna work with everybody. So I guess he keeping to that word, y'all.
We're red, we're blue, but we know the green is very important.
A unity that may be missing in Nashville, where one council member recently told up front he hoped his city would lose.
Will you vote to approve this agreement with the RNC?
No, I'm going to vote against it, definitely voting against it.
Does this give Milwaukee the upper hand in this bid?
I sure hope so.
Visit Milwaukee says if the RNC officially accepts Milwaukee as its next site over Nashville, it would attract 45,000 attendees from around the country, plus 15,000 credentialed media.
This will create additional economic impact that will go directly into the hands of our citizens. And that's why I think it's important, and it puts us into a different position in terms of the types and sizes of conventions we can host.
And Caroline's back with us here on a Friday night. Caroline, Nashville not giving up just yet. Some of its leaders still pushing for the RNC.
Man, what y'all think about the RNC being here? Y'all think that's a plus or a minus? Phone lines is open for you to call in with your comments, 414-502-9447. If you at work, which most of y'all is, because it's the Morning Shift MKE, then just text him in, man. We can't let the boss catch you work on the clock on the phone. So I'm gonna help you. So just text in, man, and keep listening. I want to know y'all opinion on this RNC. The DNC, when they came, we didn't really get to feel the economic impact that they said was supposed to come with it, man. COVID hit, things were shut down. You know what I mean? So man, we owe the do-over on the bank road, man. So what y'all think? Is it good they coming? Is it bad they coming? Is it, if it is good, who is it good for? Is it overall good for all of us? Or is it just gonna be the folks downtown?
That's right. Unlike Milwaukee, Nashville never approved the RNC's framework agreement. One council member in Nashville still pushing for that today. In an op-ed in Nashville's biggest newspaper, Metro Councilman Robert Swope asked council members to stand up and do the right thing for Nashville's long-term future and prosperity and not take what will be perceived as a partisan shot across the bow of our state and federal elected leaders.
Making their pitch, 5 Democratic candidates fighting for the chance to take on Senator Ron Johnson in November took the debate stage tonight.
Our Sam Kramer was there. He joins us live tonight. And Sam,
Hey, I don't know much about this Ron Johnson cat, but one thing I do know is that they really, really don't like this dude. When you got a whole panel of people, like, man, all different flavors, and they done united on the efforts just to get you out of there, man, they like, man, one of us better than dude. I gotta look in the dude to find out what he did or didn't do that made everybody, man, target him, or is that just simple politics? I don't know.
they have been their differences, but they are united in wanting Ron Johnson out of office.
They want him
Yeah, hi there, Mary. Voters will head to the August primary a little more than 3 weeks from now. Tonight, these candidates differ in how they would represent the state of Wisconsin, but they were very clear in sharing that same goal to unseat Ron Johnson come fall. Inside Marquette University's Varsity Theater, one of the nation's most contested Senate races, according to political experts, is center stage. On the topic of abortion, Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes says he's willing to consider protection for abortions on federal lands in states that ban the procedure.
We need to expand the majority in the filibuster and codify the right to choose into law. I think in the meantime, we have to explore every possible option to make sure that women get the reproductive health care that they need and deserve.
When asked about gun reform, State Treasurer Sarah Godlewski explained her push for common sense legislation, which she says should include a ban on assault-style weapons.
We need to make sure that we're expanding background checks and closing loopholes. You know, the other big thing is we've got to have national red flag laws because we don't want domestic abusers to be getting a hold of guns.
Alex Lasry touted his experience with the Bucks when asked how to address inflation for Wisconsin families.
The best thing we can do is make sure that we're raising wages and building more things here in America. And that's what our plan is called for, and that's what I have a track record of delivering on.
Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson stressed the need for what he calls a new Green Deal to prioritize environmental protections.
We have no choice. I believe in the social contract that says that we need to fix these problems for the next generation, and we have really screwed up on this one.
While Stephen Olakara, founder of the Millennial Action Project, says he's the candidate to change the political system in Washington.
The political industrial complex is much more interested in your dollar than it's interested in your human rights. And that's why I'm running.
Hey, and with that being said right there, man, I hope he know that's. I think that's an impossible job. He think he gonna get in there and do all by him lonesome. He better soldier up, man. For dude be in a weird freak accident in Washington D.C. somewhere. Y'all ever read Behold the Pale Horse? Dennis Cooper talked about that kind of stuff.
To change the system here.
And tonight, the Republican National Committee shared a statement following that debate. It says by endorsing President Biden's, quote, radical agenda, Wisconsin Democrats have ensured that Ron Johnson will serve a third term in the Senate. That primary is 3 weeks from Tuesday. We're live tonight on the campus of Marquette University. Sam Kramer, Fox 6 News.
Thank you, Sam.
And the sister of Luis Lorenzo. I just had a few words to share with everyone.
It's a sad case, y'all.
My name is Wanda Rodriguez. Luis Lorenzo was my brother, and he was killed here. Luis was killed by security guards who should not have been armed. He was killed by irresponsible supervisors at El Rey who allowed security guards to carry guns and decide whether customers live or die. Luis was killed by callous supervisors at security officer services who knew that Anthony Nolden was not licensed to carry a firearm while working as a private security and knew that he was not trained to address life and death situations. The Milwaukee Police Department has ignored these facts. Instead, the MPD has chosen to look the other way. And by doing so, MPD has decided which laws to enforce and which laws people, MPD has decided which laws to enforce and which people to refer for criminal charges. We should all be equal under the law. But MPD has not treated the crimes committed as the crimes they are. And so I have hired a lawyer to investigate here and pursue all available legal relief. That's all I have to say. For the community and the bystanders that were affected by these actions, I apologize. I lost a life as well. I don't want my brother to be treated as a criminal. I will fight for justice. I will be here every day if I have to, and I will make my point across, not only for my brother's life, but others' lives who were affected by this trauma.
Sure, go ahead.
It's the attorney she hired.
Can you say and spell your first and last name?
William Sultan, W-I-L-L-I-A-M, Sultan, S-U-L-T-O-N.
All right, with.
I run my own law firm on King and Center.
What do you know about what happened here? She mentioned the MPD investigation. Have you been in contact with them? Have you found out if they were throwing charges? Any update?
So the City of Milwaukee Police Department has been rather tight-lipped. We have requested a meeting with the Chief of Police, and he did commit to meeting with us next week. So we hope to have an update on their investigation. However, I've, of course, began my own investigative efforts, and what I've learned is that Mr. Nolden and other private security personnel that work here at El Rey's do not have licenses to carry firearms while acting as private security. That is a crime in our state. It's a crime chargeable to the supervisors here at El Rey's and chargeable to the companies that employ these folks. And that is something that MPD has simply ignored, and we intend to ask them why that is the case next week.
What do you have, like, when you said your investigation found that? What documents or things do you have to prove that is the case?
One of the great things about the state of Wisconsin is that all information about professionals is pretty much open record. So the Department of Safety and Professional Services in our state regulates license for private security persons. You can go online right now and discover the same facts that I have. Surely DSPS also has additional information which we intend to gather through open records, but right now we know as a fact that Anthony Nolden and other private security guards working here, perhaps the folks that are working there right now, do not have licenses to carry firearms while working as private security. Why is that important? Because that means they lack training and that they lacked supervision, right? Our state legislature has made a decision that carrying guns is dangerous. And if you're going to carry guns while working, you need to be properly trained and supervised. That didn't happen here, and that is the reason why people died here.
Was Luis Lorenzo legally carrying a weapon?
I don't have all the facts from the Milwaukee Police Department, but I think it is known that he was not permitted to carry firearms lawfully, except for self-defense.
So did he have a concealed carry license?
I don't believe that he did have a concealed carry license.
What kind of legal action are you pursuing at this point?
Well, right now, we're investigating all of the circumstances surrounding the death, but right now, we have enough information to pursue a case against both El Rey's and the private security firms based on the fact that they hired folks and allowed them to work unlawfully carrying firearms.
I was going to ask you, do you know when was the first time they called 911? Was it after the shooting or was it inside a raid? Did you know any information?
I'm hoping to learn those independent facts from the police department. Unfortunately, they've kept that information quite tight-lipped. However, they did commit to a meeting, and I expect to learn more information.
So right now you're investigating, but the plan is to bring a lawsuit forward.
Absolutely. I think that any employers, including El Rey's and the private security firms, who allow employees to unlawfully carry firearms.
Now, this is an interesting case, y'all,
should absolutely be held accountable.
because it's been a lot going on, especially on the south side with different security firms or whatnot. So I don't know where you're going with this, but anybody that's hiring armed security better make sure they got their paperwork in order, because it might be some sweeping coming through. You know what I mean? But then also, too, I'm not sure if they mentioned it in this video, but there is a little loophole in there. If the person doing security has a permit to carry or whatnot, then that allow them also. I'm sure that'll pop up at some point, but yeah. But it's interesting. I got a lot of partners that do security. Hopefully they got their things in order, man, because, hey, you never know when you're going to have to do your job. And it's a tragic story. They both end up losing their life, and you know what I mean? So even at these press conferences or whatnot, if you look behind the people talking, you got two sides out there. You know what I mean? And both crying for justice. So I don't know how this is going to work out. Seems like they waiting to find footage to figure out who fired the first shot or whatever, or what made the first shot get fired. But we're going to try to keep up with this story, man, since it happened not too far from us. And, you know, prayers for strength and all that to both of the families.
In criminal court and in civil court.
What can we expect next from you and your team?
Happy to provide an update right after we talk with the chief of police on Wednesday.
This meeting set for Wednesdays.
Yes.
Do you know if there was security video or anything like that?
I believe that there was security video footage, and I also believe there is body camera footage that will show interviews with the folks that were involved here. Again, hoping to see that information on Wednesday, or at least have a timetable for when I can get access to that information.
Did you know that security were wearing body cameras according to their website? They do supposed to carry body cameras.
Again, additional information. I assume they are wearing body camera footage, but I don't actually have that footage. But just because on their website they say they do something, like perhaps make sure their employees are properly licensed, we know doesn't mean that they actually do it. But what I think is important here is what is the explanation of El Rey's and the private security firms for allowing these gentlemen to carry firearms and decide whether people literally live or die.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. But guess what, y'all? Cole's coming back.
Kohl's is coming to downtown Milwaukee. It's going to be located right off Wisconsin Avenue in the old Boston store. Fox 6's Gabrielle Mays shows us what the store will look like and what Milwaukeeans have to say about the new addition.
We've been part of the community for more than 60 years, but we've never had a downtown presence, and now is the time.
Kohl's CEO, along with Milwaukee leaders, are celebrating the company's first ever.
Man, I remember when I came home from the joint back in the 90s, right? You know, I'm trying to do right. I'm still young. call myself trying to get my thing together out here. I go to Kohl's and apply for a job right out here on South 27. And, I'm honest on the application and all that. And we all know that they not supposed to discriminate, whatever. Man, why don't folks pull me to the side like, man, you ain't finna get hired here. Like, they ain't messing with you with no record, man. I ain't have a record for stealing or nothing, man. No robberies, no stealings, no thefts, none of that. Yeah, they spun me around, man. But they wasn't worse than Radio Shack. Radio Shack had me come on interviews way up on Highway 100 just for the sport of it, man. I ain't like that shit.
Downtown Milwaukee store. You'll find it near the intersection of Wisconsin and Velar Phillips.
I'm very happy as well that Kohl's is a part of the renaissance that's happening in downtown Milwaukee.
These renderings show what the store will look like. Kohl's says this will be one of 100 new stores it plans to build over the next 5 years.
They all will have a smaller footprint than what we've traditionally built. So like in this space, it's 40,000 square feet. That's about the size, give or take, of the stores that we'll be building across the country.
Outside the new department store location, these two Milwaukee natives have a difference of opinion.
I never been a Kohl's person. I ain't never shopped at Kohl's. I don't even know what they got up in there.
I actually like.
Look at there. One of our local independent artists got caught by Fox 6. That's Queen Nubia, y'all. Yolanda Cole on Facebook. Shout out to her. She must was downtown with her peoples, and they threw the old mic and camera in her face.
They got good kid clothes.
Both say they'll visit the store when it opens because the location is convenient.
I'm tired of going way up on 124th Street to Target or way on the south side.
Now Kohl's says it plans to open
Yeah,
the new
you got a
department
point
store
there,
in the
y'all.
fall of 2020.
Maybe you having to do some
In downtown
traveling and go to the
Gabrielle
store.
Mays, Fox 6 News.
Kohl's CEO seems confident the downtown store will do well because it will offer Amazon returns, a Sephora, and a lot of local products.
Did you know Wisconsin is one of the least bike-friendly states in the country? No, it wasn't always that way. Our Brett Vickery breaks down how, as a state, we can get back to the top.
That's all the broken glass.
Wisconsin was once ranked number 2 in the country for bike friendliness. Now, we sit at number 29.
We're the only state in the country to have had a complete street policy that was then removed from the state statutes.
A complete street policy requires the needs of all street users to be prioritized, including bike riders. Kirsten Finn is the executive director of the Wisconsin Bike Fed. She says not investing in things like bike lanes make coexisting with cars that much harder.
We feel like if there were more off-street amenities like this where people could get to work on a trail where they don't have to compete with cars, that would be the safest. Or if streets had a protected bike lane.
Even families like the Muellers say they would go on more family bike rides if they had the access.
They bike around our neighborhood a lot, but honestly it's safer to go on trails, and it's sometimes easier when the terrain is a little calmer and you don't have to worry about
Ain't trying to
cars
get
and
hit by a
traffic
reckless
much.
driver,
These
a
two
drunk
friends stick
driver
to the
or a
already
kid
provided
boy.
trails around the city, primarily because roads are a lot more dangerous.
It's easier for me to get out here without concentrating on cars and just enjoy a good ride.
Since it's expensive to try to widen the roads now, a solution could be,
we just need to invest more in things like our trails.
And if you're more of a car person, know that more bike access can actually work in.
Now I wonder how they gonna invest more in the trails. And the parks need investing too. Like, do the parks and the trails go together? Is that like they both draw from the same fund? Cause over the weekend, man, I went out, me, Pepsi, some friends went out, visited a couple parks, went on walking through Mitchell Park, hit some areas of it that I normally don't go through. Went through the back way, hit some of the trails. They got that real major trail to go, man, all the way up to Waukesha somewhere, that, what's it called, Hank Aaron Trail or whatnot. Then we hit Estabrook Park, man. Man, these parks is fucked up. Like, they need maintenance bad. The ponds, man, the ponds look like puddles in the alley or something, man. I see Poncho and them been on it. bringing awareness about Mitchell Park. I'm not sure who working on the other parks, but a lot of people upset about how the parks is looking, man. And how they not getting funding and maintenance and kept up. And I don't know why. I mean, like, I always said for stuff like that, like the county stuff or whatever, man, y'all use inmate labor for everything else, man. Get some of them folks out there at house correction, the county jail, man, instead of, commute some of them sentences to some community service hours or something, man. And get them out there maintaining them parks or whatnot. Get them tranked and get them, you know what I mean? Get somebody out there to supervise and help them maintain them parks, man.
Your favor.
Well, we're actually out of their way of their drivers, and they don't have to, they don't have to get out here and get in our way. So we're avoiding each other, but we're both enjoying what we do.
In Milwaukee, Brett Vickery, Fox 6 News.
Through music, movement, and words, a community coming together.
We feel like there's not enough done in our city towards this particular issue or problem, and it's growing and developing.
Doing their part to stop domestic violence and sex trafficking in their city.
I was the one who was doing it. So when God got a hold of me, he says, you need to go to the root of all your issues.
LaShonda Hibbler hopes these talks will inspire others to notice warning signs and reach out to someone in need.
Each one, teach one. If we can share and we can teach and empower a few, they can spread it and they can continue to share and empower other people.
Cry loud and spare not. You don't deserve that.
In Milwaukee, Gabriela Garza, WISN 12 News.
We all know to call 911 in an emergency, right? Well, now calling 988
Got
can
some
be
new
just
numbers
as
for y'all,
life-saving.
Our Madeline O'Neill joins us live in studio with the new Lifeline one psychiatrist is calling a game changer.
Well, getting help with a mental health crisis can be tough. So the goal of the new free confidential 988 in our country is making taking that first step easy. As simple as pulling out your phone and dialing or texting those 3 digits. Finding ways to keep up your mental health.
Definitely socializing. I think making sure to take those breaks. I have 2 kids.
It's becoming part of normal conversation at more and more tables.
There probably is less of a stigma, but at the same time, I do think that when you're having a mental health crisis, that it is really hard sometimes to know when to reach out and how to reach out.
Starting Saturday, a new way to reach out will be at your fingertips.
National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
The traditional 10-digit National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is becoming the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
That's really cool.
Whether at a beer garden or at home or anywhere in the country, dialing or texting 988 gets you in touch with people trained to help, and not just with suicidal thoughts.
Prevention starts before we get to those imminent suicide situations.
In Wisconsin, 988 puts you in touch with the Family Services Call Center in Green Bay.
The purpose of 988 is to help you get over that crisis point and get to someone that can help you more definitively.
That can then mean connecting you with services at places like Rogers Behavioral Health.
This is going to open up access to a lot of people that wouldn't have taken advantage in the past. So I think it can be a game changer.
Just like 911 was a game changer.
And we'll look back in 10 years and sort of chuckle at this idea that we never had 988.
The hope is 988 will become second nature.
It's happening tomorrow and will hopefully change history forever.
I think it's wonderful. I think that, in the United States, we definitely need more access to mental health.
Now, with 988, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services is expecting call volume to about double over the next year. And the call center in Green Bay is hiring to keep up with that. You'll also be able to access the Veterans Crisis Line by dialing 988 and then pressing 1. Again, this all officially launches tomorrow.
It's a great idea. Madeline, thank you.
That's what's up, man. I like that they coming up with some things. I got to get that brother Montreal up here because he developed the app also. That's really important that we learn about. It could be useful, but this also is something useful. Hey, I found this video, man, of Nipsey Hussle brother Black Sam talking about why the family didn't attend the trial, they found the brother guilty that killed Nipsey, and this is what he had to say.
So once it started legitimizing, it was a goal. We got to get into this legitimately.
Before that could happen, just 6 weeks after our 2019 interview, Nipsey was gunned down in front of his clothing store at Crenshaw and Slauson. Among the people most deeply affected, his business partner, confidant, and big brother, Sam.
How close were you?
Very close. Excuse me.
I can tell that you miss him a lot.
A lot of memories.
Samuel, the trial of Eric Holder is underway. Do you have any thoughts you want to share about that?
We don't really tap too much into that.
The family has decided to stay away from the courtroom as Nipsey's murder is laid bare in graphic detail.
I will say I got a lawyer just coming, kind of sending me the feedback so I can stay on top of what's happening day to day. And my grandmother, will ask me questions or whatever, so I'll give them the feedback.
How is your family doing?
Family good, thank God. My niece getting big, my nephew's getting big. Their mother's doing good, so thank God, man.
Tell me about the biggest challenges of the last several years.
Missing bro, but just understanding that you got to just keep kind of moving forward for the family, for his kids, and just step by step, day by day.
As for finally being able to open the Marathon Collective,
we looked at it like the alcohol during Prohibition. It'll be something that the kids can look up to when they get older and know that this is something that their parents, worked hard and established. This is something that Hustle wanted, that we wanted, and I'm just happy to be able to open it up.
There is a new grocery store now serving one of Milwaukee's largest neighborhoods, and it's a long time coming. Sherman Park Grocery just held its grand opening today. The store is located on Fond du Lac Avenue and Sherman Boulevard and is now the only full-service grocery store in that neighborhood. The city's Fresh Food Access Fund helped in making this a reality. That fund helps in getting fresh and healthy food choices into underserved communities.
That's what's up, man. They got a nice little grocery store over there. I'm about to go check it out, man. Look like it's got some nice things in there, man. We need more grocery stores, especially black-owned grocery stores. We always complaining about how these other cultures do us in these corner stores with the meats prices or whatever, man. So yeah, when these black folks start opening stores back up, we're trying to, man, start and get into the habit of supporting them. Before you know it, hey, maybe they'll own all of them back again. It's been some things going on down in the county jail too, y'all. I'm gonna run this video, then we're gonna get right over to the music. Hey, you got somebody in the jail, man? Check on your peoples, man. Like, for real, check on them, because you never know what's going on in there.
We're getting new complaints about life inside the Milwaukee County Jail. An inmate tells Fox 6 they've had days where they didn't leave their cells.
He says there are staffing shortages, but also shortages of things like toilet paper. Fox 6's Jason Calvi was there as complaints were heard by county supervisors today.
Locked up in the Milwaukee County Jail.
We had been locked in our cells 21 to 23 hours a day. On Sunday, we were not let out of our cells at all.
Donald Schrader, speaking in June, blames staffing shortages for long lockups and other problems. He's awaiting trial, including for reckless homicide.
As a result, a number of individuals...
That's right, y'all heard it right. He's awaiting trial for reckless homicide. But, man, irregardless to what that brother waiting on the trial for, he is still a pretrial detainee. He is still subject to the protections and rules of the law for pretrial detainees. So, yeah, he's speaking up, man. He fighting. He fighting for his life. He fighting for his well-being while he in there. He's speaking up, getting the message out. Y'all got to communicate with y'all folks in jail. I know they get on your nerves asking you for money, won't make three-way calls and all that, but, man, hey, just check on them. You know what I mean? Sometimes just check on them.
Individuals on pod 6C Charlie. They flooded their toilets.
Schrader says that led to another punishment.
Occupants were told that we were not going to be served our meal, and we were only served a bologna sandwich because so many people were creating an uproar.
During the Milwaukee County Board Judiciary Committee meeting Friday, County Supervisor Ryan Clancy plays audio with an inmate and disguised the voice. Milwaukee County Chief Deputy Danita Hall says staffing is critical.
We have 20 deputies who have been assigned to the jail. So our shortage has created a substantial increase in our overtime budget.
She refused to answer questions about suicide inside the jail.
I respectfully request not to comment on that because suicides, whether the investigation is completed, is still subject to claims and litigation.
Jason Calvi reporting the discussion was sparked by a late June suicide. The sheriff's office says the 21-year-old man was put in a holding cell and checked every 30 minutes. 2 people died in the jail last year. One was ruled a suicide. The other was heart failure.
HittingHardRadio.com is Anything Goes Radio.